The backlash continues after kratom is banned in the Friendly City. Thanks for joining us tonight. Kratom is an over-the-counter product that people commonly use for energy or pain relief. However, some claim that the plant is addictive. Now tonight, people in favor of the use of kratom brought their concerns before council members. You may remember just last week, Mayor Robert Smith signed into law banning of the sale and distribution of kratom within city limits. Those in support of kratom say the product should be regulated, not banned.
Regulate it, make it 18 and up so no children can get a hold of it, and make sure that it's tested and that it's safe. You can't send an addict back to something they cannot control because they need something for pain. Like I said, it was torture, and I literally moved to Mississippi so that I could be legal and get off of the pain medication again.
Now, kratom is currently banned in the city of Columbus and in Union County. The Columbus Municipal Court releases its monthly report for fines and assessments for January 2019. Over $80,000 was collected. Now that's double the total for the month of January and February of last year. Now the court administrator credits a new warrant detail issued this year and a change in Mississippi car insurance laws.
If you don't have insurance, well, you used to bring it and reduce the charge. Now it's a flat fee, $362.50. And every time you're caught without insurance, it goes from $100 up from $362.50 to $462.50 to $562.50. So that's one reason we've increased in our revenues.
Now, Blunt says we'll continue to see a rise in revenue in the next few months. City leaders in Starkville are considering changing an ordinance that would make it legal to hunt and use firearms on annexed property. Now, the city is looking to annex areas just east of Starkville. Well, some of that area is currently used for hunting. Now, that would go against an existing city ordinance against discharging firearms in the city limits. Now, tonight, the board held the first of two public hearings to change or clarify that ordinance. If approved, hunting will be allowed on areas that have at least 10 acres of land and are more than 150 feet away from a residence or occupied dwelling.
In this case, we're trying to come into compliance with state law, and whatever state law says. If it preempts us in anything we might do, then we want to be in compliance. If it says that we have the latitude to do something, then we want to consider whether or not bringing annexed areas in. That might be something that we want to allow them to be able to continue doing that they are doing currently under county ordinance or county statute or the county position under state law.
Now, aldermen will hold another public meeting at the next board meeting, and they may vote on the matter. There's a new video challenge from the Department of Education. The goal is for schools to show off how they're preparing for the big third grade reading test. As Courtney Jackson explains, it's a way to get the students more engaged.
This chart shows the progress of the state's third graders over the last 3 years, with the pass rate increasing and the fail rate decreasing. But there's a new cut score that explains the purpose of the Level Up Challenge.
3. Well, that's where we need to be. But
students receive scores 1 to 5 on the reading test, and up until now, they've needed at least a 2 to pass and advance to the 4th grade. But this year, they'll need a 3. Stonebridge Elementary in Brandon is working to keep that focus on accepting the challenge and not the mindset of stressing about a test.
Sometimes with them knowing that they have a big test, they always talk about this big test at the end of the year.
The stakes are high. Students need to pass the test to be promoted to 4th grade.
One of the things that we've done with our students is just that open communication. You are working hard. This is just a time to shine. This is a time to show your parents and your teachers what you are capable of doing.
They wanted to highlight that teamwork for their challenge video.
So much fun doing the video, and when they got to watch it and see themselves, they were so excited, and they were realizing that we can make learning fun and it doesn't just have to be stressful all the time, and that they can see us teachers dancing and being silly too, because we want them to be sure that learning is fun. So
they're incorporating things like online reading, small group work, individualized instruction, and intervention work for those who need more help. Third graders statewide will take that critical test in April with 2 retake opportunities if they don't pass on the first try. Courtney Jackson, WCBI News.
Time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with the first look at our forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, it's been very wet. The lights, though, coming back on in parts of West Alabama. Vernon, we got some of those lights come back on there. A live view at Durham's Pharmacy had some power outages earlier, but rain still out there. You can see some of that wet weather there on the camera lens. Let me switch clickers here and see if I can't get my graphics to advance. There we go. Temperatures in the 40s. We have wind chills in the upper 30s to low 40s out there. We are advertising some 50s and 60s over the next 24 hours here. Notice the showers we have in place now, some lighter showers, but we have more activity trying to build back in later tonight. You can see it right there, and that will come in here later tonight into tomorrow morning, and we'll have more rain, more storms around for the start of our Wednesday. Your full forecast, Scott, in just a few minutes.
Well, flu season is kicking into high gear in Mississippi, and children under 5 are one of the groups at highest risk. And as our jury tally finds, that has child care centers stepping up their flu fighting efforts.
Although it's Wacky Tacky Day at the Child and Parent Development Center, efforts to fight the flu aren't slowing down. Wash your hands, flu season is here. These signs are more than decoration this time of year.
Encourage our parents and families when they come in the morning to wash their hands themselves and to take their child to wash their hands. Anytime they enter and exit the room, they should be washing their hands this time of year. We also are doing daily wellness checks where we're checking for temperatures and things so that we can catch them. If we suspect a child is getting a fever, we're going to watch it. If a child is acting abnormal, we're going to check their temp.
Checking temps, washing hands, and daily cleaning schedules really ramp up here during this time of year.
Even taking out things like play food from some of the classrooms if we know they're going to put it in their mouth. We go around daily with the cleaning supplies and our bleach water spray, cleaning and disinfecting.
Director Penny Mansell says one student has been diagnosed with the flu so far, but when it starts, it can spread like wildfire.
Child care centers are full of germs, and there's no way to stop it. Kids are going to be in each other's faces. They're going to be sneezing, and as much as we try to, use your elbow or your whatnot to sneeze or grab a tissue, go wash your hands, they're still little kids. They're still learning all these processes and all these health practices.
She says they've been extremely proactive with their fight against the flu, trying to prevent as many little ones and teachers from falling victim to the virus. The center also has a public health intern whose job is to make sure everyone is flu educated. That's why these health forms have been made and passed out to parents and teachers.
CDC, they have, their regulations and how long a child needs to stay out and what symptoms need to be gone before they send their child back to school, so I make sure that's all in there.
And even with all of the extra measures, sometimes the flu just can't be fought, causing a new battle for parents of little ones.
Luckily, with our business, he could ride around with us and sit with us here. But a lot of people, I don't know how they do it unless they have family that can just take off and stay home with them.
The moment we find out we have a sick child, I normally take off and go home and strip beds and Lysol and everything.
Now, Mansell says they had their first flu case diagnosed on Friday.
A good 1 to 3+ inches of rain today. Some locations, at least estimated by radar, getting close to 4 inches. Obviously, some flooding issues tomorrow, especially during the first half of the day. More rain, more storms, maybe a few strong storms, but it should be warmer, some 50s and 60s. The full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It's a raw and nasty night out there. We have some showers, cooler temperatures, low ceilings there. A live view in downtown Louisville, Mississippi with our Alpha Insurance camera network. Not a lot of heavy rain right now, but we still have some pockets of rain east of Louisville, in and around the Golden Triangle area too, in the West Alabama. So much lighter than what we had earlier. That will likely change later tonight as another wave comes on in. We still have the flash flood watch in effect for more rain possibilities. Really tonight into tomorrow morning and early afternoon, maybe 1 to 2, 3 inches perhaps, but let's just say about 1 to 2 plus as we go throughout the next 24 hours. Most of that will be in the next 12 to 14 hours, give or take here. Temperatures rising into the 50s and 60s later tonight and tomorrow. More rain and storms on the way, some of which could be strong. That's still a bit iffy though. Notice what's happening back to the west. Louisiana, Arkansas, lightning, showers, and storms are blossoming back here. That will be the activity for us later tonight into our Wednesday morning. So Futurecast doing a decent job as we advance. This is 6 o'clock in the morning. There should be more concentrated rain and storms back along and let's just say around the Natchez Trace Parkway. And then that will tend to shift east through our area during the course of our morning. A lot of this will tend to push east of our area by early afternoon, it looks like, and that would be good news. We can dry things out just a little bit after some of the soggy weather we've had over the last 24. But the most unstable air could actually be pinched off down towards south. We are still in this marginal chance for some strong storms tomorrow morning, but I want to show you the most unstable air could actually be staying just to the south of our area tomorrow morning. If that is indeed the case, our chance of severe weather is basically zero, but we can't discount that slight possibility, especially in our southeastern counties. But all of us have the chance for some heavy rain here for our Wednesday morning. Temperatures now basically into the 40s. We will be rising into the 50s for your morning commute and back into the 50s and 60s. Some of us getting into the mid 60s in the southeast with a little surge of warm air, it looks like tomorrow. So we're advertising mid 60s. Some of you may fall short, but there will be a chance for some showers and storms around the region here tomorrow. Let's check it out with your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Another chance for rain Thursday into your Friday. Another opportunity for maybe some more widespread strong to severe storms with warmer temperatures, Scott, mid to upper 70s. That will be Saturday. Drying out, though, on Sunday.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. Well, being prepared for severe weather is important, especially when heavy rains could bring flash flooding, wash out roads, and even threaten drivers. Our Stephanie Poole spent the day finding out how emergency managers say you should handle the waterlogged roads.
Chickasaw County is preparing for high waters.
Our county roads and city roads do have certain locations that water gets over the road. It may be standing still and it may be rushing water.
Linda Griffin is the EMA director. She says drivers are often stuck because the water is too high to cross. And if you try to cross through rising water, moving as little as 6 inches can knock you off your feet. Griffin says shuffling your feet can prevent from being swept away or causing injury.
If you leave the roadway in a ditch that's full of water, then that increases your danger. You don't necessarily walk away from those accidents. There are more people killed in flooding accidents than there are, in tornadoes a lot of times.
Griffin also warns drivers to stay home at night. Heavy rain makes it hard to see. Turn on your lights and drive slowly.
Slow down and make sure your vehicles are fueled in case you have to take an alternate route. Most of the time if the road is flooding, you have to take an alternate route. It's going to be a longer route. Don't drive where you cannot see the road. And if there's water across, you may still can see, but you don't know the dangers where that water's already washed the road away.
Welcome back. A Northeast Mississippi soldier surprised her family and community with an emotional homecoming. Allie Martin was at Boonville High School for what was billed as a pep rally was actually a welcoming home ceremony for an American hero.
The first ever spring semester pep rally at Boonville schools featured athletes, cheerleaders, and a time to honor staff members and students whose loved ones are deployed. Sergeant Pamela Stevens even made a video for her sons, Mackenzie and Waylon. Local businesses provided gifts for the middle school students to give their mother on her return home, and they didn't have to wait long. In reality, the pep rally was staged to surprise Sergeant Stevens' sons and the entire community.
It was pretty great. I was very nervous. My stomach, I felt like I was going to get sick, but the pep rally kind of hyped me up, so I didn't have quite the tears I thought I was going to.
Sergeant Stevens was deployed to Kuwait with the 1st Squadron, 98th Cavalry Regiment. She served as a logistics clerk and was able to check in with her family from time to time through a Wi-Fi video connection, but being able to surprise her two sons in person was much better.
Just to touch them is awesome instead of just looking at them through a camera.
Waylon and Mackenzie say they are proud of their mother and her service to the country.
It was surprising, and I was really happy that she was home because I thought she was getting home in less than a month.
Both boys got excused absences the rest of the day to spend with their mother and start catching up on the past 9 months. In Boonville, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Sergeant Stevens worked for the Prentiss County Sheriff's Department, but will be taking a full-time position with the National Guard. Well, the West Point Growth Alliance celebrates a big year and gears up for 2019. Its annual banquet was held tonight at the West Point Civic Center. This year, the Growth Alliance honored Robert Caroline Harrell, and Naomi Kilgore into the West Point Hall of Fame. The theme for this year's banquet was Team West Point. Ole Miss looking to cement itself towards the top of the SEC, but would face a tough road test. Highlights from Columbia coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
The battle for fourth place in the SEC, Ole Miss riding a 4-game win streak into South Carolina. Winner owning sole possession of a possible double bye come SEC tournament time. Kermit Davis and company got off to about as good a start as you can. Devontae Shuler stealing the inbounds pass to Breon Tyree, lob to Terrence Davis. Rebels start the game 5 for 5 and on a 13-2 run. Pretty finish for Davis, but the Gamecocks would go on a death run, highlighted by A.J. Lawson. Look out, kids! Look at the putback jam and one. My goodness, a 31-9 run for Carolina has them up 11, but Terrence Davis stops the bleeding. Good cut, nice feed from Bruce Stevens. Rebels only trailed by 8 at the break, and second half Rebels still clawing back. Nice backdoor feed to Breon Tyree, takes the contact, finishes anyway, closing the gap. Ole Miss one more time in transition to Tyree. Look at the smooth handles and an even sweeter finish around the hoop. One possession ball game. Ole Miss has it in 3-point game. Almost a nightmare for the Rebels, though. Tyree can't get a handle. Somehow gets it to Blake Hinson. The fall away is good. One more time, the freshman with the onions right as the shot clock expires. Ole Miss would have to enjoy that one. That'd be one of 2 baskets they'd make in the final 7 minutes of the game. Hassani Gravett with the triple there. Gamecocks close the game on an 18-3 run. Rebels fall on the road 79-64. They fall to 8-5 in SEC play. Mississippi State looks to make it 3 straight SEC wins Wednesday against Georgia, but will continue to do so without one of its top players. Head coach Ben Howland says Nick Weatherspoon will remain suspended indefinitely and will miss a 2nd straight game due to a violation of team rules. Against Arkansas, the Bulldogs turned to Tyson Carter, who stepped up in a big way, scoring 18 points, filling in that starting spot. The Bulldogs in Georgia tip off at 5:30 on Wednesday night. To high school basketball playoffs, Caledonia welcomes Corinth to town for first-round action. First quarter, Tyron Johnson to Jarvis Lee takes it right to the cup for the sweet left-hand finish. Feds up early. Next possession for Caledonia, Tyron Johnson. Look at the crossover. Skirt leaves a man in the dust. Pretty floater for the finish. Caledonia up here, but Corinth trying to respond. Tam Patterson's going to find DK Gaines. Nice pass inside and the pretty finish. But Caledonia picks up its first playoff win in 12 years. What a year for the Feds. They get the win 48-38. Battle of the Blue Devils in Boonville. Water Valley taking on Boonville. Great student section showing up for Boonville. Here Billy Johnson battling down low in the land of the Giants, somehow gets it to go. Boonville with the early lead, but here come the other Blue Devils. Donald Wilson inside for 2. It's a back and forth ball game early on. Then Marquez Caldwell nails the triple. So Water Valley takes the lead on the other end. Boonville getting things going. Dallas Gamble gets the shot to go. But then the highlight of the night, steal by Bud Tolbert. That man was a star in the state championship. Finishes with the rain rack and 2-hand finish. Water Valley upset on the road, 63-61 over Boonville. Northside taking on New Site in boys action. Royals up by 20 at the half. Ethan Eaton adding to that with the nice finish. And then pass inside to Carson Fitzsimmons for the easy bucket. New Site able to roll to a W in this one, 63-50. And then back in Lowndes County, West Lowndes taking on French Camp. Panthers are up by a lot here in the fourth quarter, but French Camp still battling. Clayton Leathers with the 3, and later in the fourth, West Lowndes, Nigel Holloway outlet to Quay Sanders for the fast break layup and 1. West Lowndes dominates 75-40 to advance. See if we can get through some scores here real quick, if that's a possibility. Nope, I guess we can't have nice things on a Tuesday night. So we'll have it all on our website at WCBI.com and tomorrow morning on Sunrise, but that's it for sports. Last look at your weather is next.
A little bit of shower activity out there right now, Scott, but more rain is possible later on tonight as we check out the bigger perspective here. Rain out in Louisiana and Arkansas will be heading our way later tonight and for tomorrow. We're still thinking about maybe 1 to 2+ inches over the next 24 hours. Maybe a strong storm tomorrow, but better odds on that probably Saturday if we're going to get it. We'll watch it, though.
All right. We know you guys will be here for the next several days.
Of course.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.